All right, so let's talk about why you should seriously consider moving to Michigan in 2025, and I promise you will not regret it. Now, if you've been on the fence about moving to Michigan, let me break it down for you. Today, we're going to dive into why people are flocking to Michigan, things like affordable housing, the job market, the killer schools we have here, and the awesome communities. And who knows, this might be the fresh start you've been looking for, so let's dive into it. Hey, what's going on, you guys? If you're new to me and new to my channel, my name is Eric, and my team and I have helped hundreds of people that are in your exact shoes make that move here to Michigan, and guess what? We absolutely love it. This is what we live for. So if you are considering making a move here to Michigan, do not hesitate to get a hold of us. All my contact information is down below. We'll hop on Zoom, get a game plan together, and make your move here to Michigan as smooth as possible. Now, one of the first things you should know about is the proximity to other major cities right here in the Midwest. You know, living in Michigan affords you some short drives to cities like Chicago or Cleveland or Indianapolis. So if you're somebody that likes to get away from home base, maybe for a day or a weekend or even longer, those are some great options. Heck, my wife and I have made the trip to Chicago many a times with friends just to get away and have some fun for the weekend. But one of the most unforgettable trips we've taken to Chicago was a recent family trip we took where we took the girls to the American Girl store in downtown Chicago. Now, that was not the highlight of the trip at all. We didn't fly, we didn't drive to Chicago. We actually took the train. And that's one of the rarities that you can do here in Michigan is take a train to Chicago and stay there for the weekend and then take the train home. So if that's something you're interested, our trip consisted of going to this very small historic train station in Durand, Michigan. It's one of the oldest train stations in Michigan. And we took that all the way to Chicago, spent the weekend there, had some fun, took them to the American Girl store, and then took the train back. And the cutest thing happened on the way home. They saw some other little girls who were doing the exact same trip. They had their American Girl backpacks and everything, all their clothes and everything playing on the train. And they went up to them and said, "Hey, can we play with you?" And those 4 girls played with their American Girl dolls all the way home. It was absolutely adorable. And that is a trip my girls still talk about today, and they will remember that for the rest of their lives. All right, so next we're going to take a look at how friendly retirement living can be here in Michigan. And if you're younger and you think this doesn't apply to you, pay attention because as you get older, these things are going to creep up on you. Things that may not be that important to you right now are going to become very important to you as you're older. And that's things like, where's my good quality healthcare? Where is the access to hospitals? How far am I driving for hospitals? What are some of the tax-friendly policies that I have for property taxes and things that I can start using to save some of my wealth into my retirement years? And those are things that you should be taking a look at. And Michigan has ranked as one of the top places to retire. Ann Arbor has ranked as one of the #1 places to retire in the whole entire United States, among Grand Haven, Traverse City, and some other cities here in Michigan. And next up are the cultural roots that have been put down here in Michigan. You know, that's one thing that everybody looks for is kind of familiarity and a little tie back to your heritage to get that little bit of comfort. You know, I came from a big Polish family, and growing up here in Metro Detroit, there was a large Polish settlement. You know, we had Hamtramck, which was predominantly all Polish people. You know, so there's pierogies on the streets. There's, you know, tons of stuff going on, Polish bakeries, and, you know, just sauerkraut for days. And that's just not limited to Polish people. And there's many more. You know, I had tons of friends that were Italian or Chaldean, and they had their heritage. They have Italian-American societies. Dearborn is a large Arab population, you know, here in Michigan. And if you're in Metro Detroit, you're going to have big ties to the automotive industry. You're going to have big ties to manufacturing. You know, you got Henry Ford, GM. They're advancing how manufacturing was done. And then you got Motown. Right? If you're into music, how can you not pay attention to Motown? It was a pioneer in the music world. And then you got cities like Ann Arbor and Grand Rapids that have major ties into the art scene. And then you got cities like Traverse City where you would have never known who has a big film festival every single year. And that's part of the culture there. So exploring all this culture here in Michigan is going to leave you with endless opportunities to go visit museums, festivals, you know, cities, and really just kind of embrace what each city has to offer. All right. So next up, we're taking a look at the thriving communities we got here in Michigan. And this is probably one of my favorite things about exploring and going to different cities like Ann Arbor, Grand Rapids, Traverse City, Detroit, Petoskey. Each one of them has kind of their own little vibe. You know, you could step into Ann Arbor and immediately you're greeted with kind of this artsy food scene. You know, you also got the university there, but you head over to Grand Rapids and it's just like this kind of big city with this massive craft brew scene. you know, over there. And Traverse City has this kind of like laid back vibe, but it's like really big into the startup scene. You got ties into wineries and cherry farms and all these different festivals. But then you can head down to Detroit and it's just buzzing with this revitalization of the city and so many new restaurants and so many new hotels and buildings and construction and things that are taking place all along the Riverwalk. I mean, it's absolutely amazing what's going on. And each city has their own pros and cons, but just exploring all these major cities and having this different vibe is really cool. All right, and next up, you cannot forget about the world-class universities we have here in Michigan. People come from all over the world to go to the University of Michigan or Michigan State University or any of the specialty schools that we have here. Kalamazoo College, Adrian College are some of the private schools. You got Northern Michigan University, you got Western, you got Eastern. There's so many different higher education options here, and people are coming from all over the world to attend these universities. And that's one thing I see quite often is people get here and they go to university, specifically Ann Arbor, and they love it so much that they're like, I'll just stay here. Like, I'm just going to buy a home. Or they go to graduate school at University of Michigan or Michigan State. I've seen that. I don't know how that one works out when somebody goes to the University of Michigan for undergrad and then goes to Michigan State for their grad. Like, talk about a house divide. That's like a person divide, with the rivalry. Point is, people are coming from all over the world to go to these universities and staying here because they absolutely love Michigan and the cities that they're living in. All right, so this next one is actually 4 reasons, or should I say 4 seasons, on why I love Michigan. I love raising my girls here in Michigan, to give them kind of all the range of the seasons. You got spring, you got summer, you got winter, and you got fall. Living without these, like we lived in California for a year, and I assure you, I missed fall. I missed winter, just kind of having that change of pace. And I'm helping 4 families right now move to Michigan, and they're so excited that their kids are going to be able to experience winter in Michigan. They're in a place right now where they've never seen snow. And the parents grew up in Michigan. They've lived outside of the state for a while. They're moving back here because of this. And I know a lot of other parents who were born in Michigan and have experienced this. They know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, drop it in the comments below. There's nothing like a Michigan summer. There's also nothing like a Michigan winter. It can be cold, it can be dreary, but yes, you can have a lot of fun. We took our girls ice skating this year. We took our girls sledding a bunch this year. Getting out and enjoying the outdoors in all 4 seasons is not something you can do in every state, but you can do it right here in Michigan. And next up, and one of the reasons why so many people are moving here to Michigan, is the low cost of living. Now, I'll be honest with you, it's not the most expensive state in the Midwest, but it's also not the cheapest state in the Midwest. There are cheaper places to live, but if you want to be close to where, a lot of the jobs are, and the Metro Detroit area or Grand Rapids or some of the more popular places, those are going to be a little bit more expensive. But generally speaking, cost of living here in Michigan is pretty affordable. And when you start comparing some of the cost of Michigan to other cities or other states outside of it, you start really scratching your head and you're like, wow, I get all of that in Michigan, all the things that Eric's been talking about, plus it's pretty affordable. Well, that seems like a better quality of life than where I'm at today. All right, so next up, and there's absolutely no gatekeeping on this one, you guys. When I tell you that Michigan is one of the most beautiful states in the whole entire United States, well, I'm going to let you be the judge of that, but I know it's true. Okay, when I show you some of these pictures of places like Pictured Rocks or any of the 11,000 inland lakes that we have with lush forests surrounding it, you would not believe these places are in Michigan. You also got to remember, Michigan has 3 coasts, right? You got the West Coast, you got the East Coast, and then you got the Northern Coast. So you got places like Traverse City, Petoskey, Boyne, you got the whole entire Upper Peninsula. But just exploring Michigan and having the opportunity to go spend a day or the weekend exploring some of these beautiful spots is perfect for the family. So next up, and one of the major reasons why so many people are moving to Michigan is for the booming job market. We help so many people relocate here that are taking jobs with any of the big 3, any of the healthcare systems, any of the tech companies, any of the major industries, here in Michigan brings in so much talent from outside of the state. And a good amount of the people that we're talking to right now that we're in the process of helping relocate to the Metro Detroit area are for new job opportunities. They've gotten a job offer and they're needing to find a home here in the Metro Detroit area. So if that's you and you do have questions about the real estate market here in Metro Detroit, definitely reach out. All my contact information is down below. All right, and last but not least, and one of the major reasons you will not regret moving to Michigan in 2025 is for the housing costs. Now, over the years, the housing cost has been going up, but relatively across the state, we are still lower than the average of the whole entire United States. If we look at the whole entire United States, the average home is running right around $400,000. I think it's actually creeped up to about $410,000 or $415,000. Here in Michigan, you can still find homes in the $275,000 range or $300,000 range. That's $100,000 less than the national average. So if you are looking for a state that has some affordable housing options, you definitely need to put Michigan on your radar. There's all sorts of homes here. You can go anywhere from like a little small cottage on a lake all the way up into like a mega mansion. So it really depends on what your budget is, what your lifestyle is, and what you're going for. And of course, if you have any questions on where that ideal lifestyle might be here in Michigan, just schedule a call with me. I'd be happy to have a discussion and put you onto some cities that might be a good fit for your lifestyle. So for all the reasons I just mentioned, I promise you will not regret moving here to Michigan in 2025. Honestly, once you move here, you'll be asking yourself, why did I not do it sooner? And if you do have any questions about moving here to Michigan, go ahead and reach out. And if this video was helpful for you guys, give it a thumbs up. It lets YouTube know I'm doing a great job. And don't forget to subscribe and tap that little bell so you're the first to learn every time I come out with a new video just like this, which is every single week. And if you want to learn some more stuff about living here in Michigan, go check out these other videos I got for you. And I will see you on the next one.